very complex chart. Maybe for the first time looking at a training program, it can be very complex, but trust me, it's going to be very easy. Okay, so look at the screen first. Okay, so we have learned in the last module that you just need an individualized training program. Okay, and we are using heart rate and pace. Heart rate for zone 1 and zone 2. Okay, and zone 3 for a predicted 2.4 km pace based on your 1.2 km time trial. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the sessions and the program. All right, so to keep it simple, guys, there are only 3 kinds of workouts in the entire program. There's only zone 1 workout, zone 2 workout, and the zone 3 workout. Okay, very simple. So now, understanding the zone 1 workout. Okay, so in your chart, you will see something like that. 30-minute zone 1. 30 minutes zone 1, right? What does it mean? You just basically run 30 minutes in zone 1. That's it. Okay? So the goal is to train the aerobic system, right? You can train anywhere. Use a heart rate monitor and you run within the prescribed zone. Now, the truth is this. A lot of you may find that it's super unnatural to run at this pace because you realize that, wow, I need to run quite slow to ensure that I'm in this zone. And my encouragement for you is that you need to be disciplined and stay in the zone because that's where true improvement will come. Over a few weeks and months, you will find that you're running faster at the same heart rate. Okay, and don't think that you're not training. In fact, I will show you this chart. This is how I train. So let's say when I was 25 years old, guys, now I'm not so fast already. But 25 years old, I can easily do 330 okay, for 1.2 km. And then when I calculate it, it shows that I need to run my zone 1 less than 148. Okay, and let me show you my charts here. This is 213, right? You see, I do my long easy runs, 35 km. You see, 140 beats per minute. Understand? Zone 1. Okay, you see, I run my long easy run 15 km. You see my average heart rate 126. I do my easy run again 7 km. You see 119. 25 km 123. So what I'm trying to say is this: you must dare to run within the heart rate zone 1 because you are actually training the aerobic system, and the more you persist at this will give you long-term improvement. And in fact, you will then start to enjoy running more because many of times you're running too fast, then you feel like running is damn tiring, and you feel like you want to quit. But if you slow down, you run at zone 1, you'll find that you can run for 45 minutes, 1 hour, no problem, because you are then running in the correct zone. So you need to have confidence, right, in the zone 1 heart rate because that's where real training occurs. That's 80% of your energy system that is going to produce the energy for you on a 2.4 km race day. All right. Now, okay, at this point, that's why if you read my introductory website, right, you need to have a watch with a lap time. Now, this is a bit important, especially if you are doing the zone 2 and zone 3 workout. Okay, and you need to understand this terminology. Okay, a lot of watches out there, those cheap ones, they only have this split. Split time, right, is basically total time elapsed. Can you appreciate this chart here? Split one, when you run, you start it, right? You press the button split. Okay, it will show you a certain time. But then the split will continue running. And then when you press split again, it will show like the total time of everything. And then split 3 is like a bit meaningless, okay? Now, compared to lap, lap means this. I run and I press lap, then I see lap 1, how fast I run. Then lap 2, I see this lap, how fast. Lap 3. I hope you can understand this. So this chart is a bit hard to understand if you're seeing this for the first time, but essentially, the lap is giving me the time between each time I press the button. Between each time I press the button, that is 1 lap. Okay? But split is like continuous one. Alright? So lap time is honestly more beneficial for running training. Okay, now with that in mind, we're going to show you how to do a zone 2 workout, right? Zone 2 workout is very simple. It's basically to train the high-end aerobic system. Remember, at this zone, there is a minimal accumulation of lactic acid. You are still training this very high-end aerobic zone, and the game is to run continuously for 30 minutes, for example, but then there will be some injection of zone 2 segment. You see? So 10 minutes zone 1 warm-up, 10 minutes zone 2, then you warm down. But this zone 2, you run faster to make your heart rate into this zone. And do not exceed that because you don't want to start to feel too fatigued. Okay, you really want to run a high aerobic system. So now this is where your lab is very useful. Okay, so basically, for example, look at this time here. Look at this clock here. This is your watch. Total time, your lap time, and your heart rate. So you press start. Okay, now you're going to warm up, right? When you press lap, okay, 10 minutes is up. Why not? Okay, your heart rate obviously increase. Your total time is 10 minutes. Now, at 2 minutes, you check your watch. You want to check your heart rate. You check. Oh, you check. It shows your lap time is 2 minutes. You understand? You see, it shows 2 minutes. Okay, your total time is 12 minutes. Okay, and then as you press lap, after 8 more minutes, then it will show 10 minutes is up. Right? But your total time now is 20 minutes. Okay, and then you cool down for 4 minutes. You look at your watch, you view your watch. Okay, it shows your lap time is 4 minutes. You have run for 24 minutes. Okay, and your heart rate is now coming down because you're cooling down. Then you cool down for another 4 minutes. You press lap here. Okay, yeah, if you want to press lap, then it will show like 8 minutes. Sorry, it's view watch. Oh, I typed wrongly here. But basically, you view your watch, you say 8 minutes, and then subsequently, when you press stop, it will show this number lah. Okay, but this is what it means when you use a lap. Now, this looks quite easy for a zone 2 because zone 2 is only one change in heart rate. So it may not be so crucial for you to use a lap function because in your mind you can calculate, okay, 10 minutes plus 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I just need to run at zone 2 until 20 minutes, then I warm down, right? So possible, your zone 2, you still can use this method. Okay, now but zone 3 a bit more complicated already. Zone 3, you're training the anaerobic system, and now we want you to go to the track because that's where you're using your predicted 2.4 km pace. Right? So same thing. All of them is warm up 10 minutes in zone 1. So you wear a heart rate monitor, you run 10 minutes in your zone 1 heart rate. Okay? Next, you then and what do you do? Okay, let me just go through this slide properly. So the goal is to train the aerobic system and then to get used to the 2.4 km race pace. Your location is at the track. Now, there's an option for treadmill lah, guys. Okay, some of you say you want to use treadmill, you can try. We put a km per hour in the calculator. You'll provide a number there. You all let us know how you feel on the treadmill, whether it's feasible or not. Okay, but I'll recommend that you put at 0.5% inclination to take into account various natural elements like wind and all this. So this is quite standard. Most people will put a 0.5 inclination when they're doing training on the treadmill. Okay, so now what's the key pointers here? Okay, so after your warm up, right, you press lap and then you press stop. Okay, so you see, you start your run here, 0, 0, 0, 0, 80. You warm up for 10 minutes, your heart rate go up, you press lap, then you press stop. Okay, now after that you do your warm up, you do your stretching and whatever. Okay, and then now you go to the start line of the track. Okay, and then you begin your workout by pressing start because now you already lap ready. So now you press start, you pee, and then you run 200 meters. Okay, assuming your pace is 60 seconds per 200 lah. Right, and then at 200 when you check your watch is 1 minute. Right, at 1 minute already, right? But then you continue running for another 200 meters, and at this point you can press lap. Right, and what happens is that you show a total time in your lap time which is 2 minutes because you have run 400 meters at 60 seconds per 200. That's 2 minutes, and then you warm down. You see, so 400 meters zone 3 / 2 minutes zone 1. So now you warm down for 2 minutes in zone 1. So your heart rate will drop. Okay, so in this cool down between laps, right, you can do a jog or a walk continuously for zone 1 during recovery to allow the heart rate to drop. Okay, now once you rest 2 minutes already, it's time to start the next one, right? So at this point, your watch, when you look at it, it will show total time is 14, but when you press lap, it will show that you have warmed down for 2 minutes, and then now you start the next program. That's the next rep. Okay, and then what you'll see is that the total time continues, and then after you run 400 meters, you can actually see that your lap time shows 2 minutes, and then you press lap and then you continue for another set before you warm down. Okay, so why is it easier to use lap? Because imagine now you see the timing is very clean. That's because we say 60 seconds per 200, but based on your calculator, it can be like 35 seconds, 48 seconds kind of thing. It can be very, very hard to keep track if you don't use a lap. Right? If you use split, it's like, wow, the numbers are impossible to manage. That's why it's very helpful to have a watch with a lap time. It keeps it very clean and the numbers small so that you can monitor accurately throughout the run. Okay, I hope this makes sense, guys. I think I tried to create this watch face here. Hope you guys can visualize the difference between lap time and split time. But essentially, the set is written in this manner. Everything is warm up 10 minutes. The set is 400 meter zone 3, which is by pace. Okay, and then zone 1 for 2 minutes, bracket times 3. And then you cool down 8 minutes in zone 1. Okay, all right. So you have to really try to visualize it and try out yourself and see whether you understand that. Okay, so in summary, very simple. 3 kinds of workouts. You will see that there is a zone 1 workout that is just 30 minutes in zone 1. Zone 2, warm up. Zone 2, injection. Okay, and cool down. And then zone 3 will be warm up. Zone 3, interval training. Okay, and then 8 minutes zone 1. All right, and our recommendation is that zone 1 and zone 2 you can run anywhere because it's using heart rate anyway. Zone 3, I would recommend the track. Okay, and you run the distance at the pace is prescribed with the time given for recovery. Okay. Okay, guys. So far, any questions? Okay. Let's see. If you're hitting zone 2 way too easily, do we start walking until we are at zone 1 heart rate before running again? Yeah. So basically, when it's time for the recovery, okay, you see, zone 2 there's only one repetition. That means there's no multiple. So, oh, I get what I mean. That means you are running in zone 2. Okay, I don't answer this question. Basically, you just need to keep in your heart rate zone, no matter what you're doing. So you need to slow down until you're within the zone. That's it. Okay, and over time, if you persist, you will find that you'll be running faster and faster, and you are still able to hit the zone. Okay, what if my baseline heart rate is higher than usual? Will the program be less accurate? Yes, I mean clearly yes. There will be some people. If your heart rate is higher than usual, you can text me lah. I'm not sure. I'm convinced that it may not be the case. Okay, you can let me know. But of course, if a baseline is higher, then it will be less accurate. Okay. All right. Can. So now we're going to go through the program. All right. So now we're going to go through table by table. So firstly, look at the columns in the PDF that you have. Number one, you have the weeks to the race. Okay, you have the phase and the week of what lah, and I give you the date of the Monday of the week. All right. Then the session 1, the session 2, and the optional session 3. All are 30 minutes each. Okay. All right. Then next, right? Firstly, let's look at this whole colors scheme here. So first of all, someone asked like how many days should we allow, right? Now, you only need to do 2 sessions to be completed over 7 days, right? Every week or 7 days. So the recommendation is to have 2 to 3 rest days lah, between sessions, okay, for effective compensation, right? So basically, you choose the ideal combination here. All right, you just choose one of these: Monday, Thursday, Tuesday, Friday, Wednesday, Saturday, Thursday, Sunday. You stick to it lah after you choose it. Okay, if you want to do the optional session, you can do it any other day because that one is zone 1, is very easy. So you can do it any other day. Okay, but basically stick to one combination uh, and just stick to it for the 12 weeks. Okay, now next, you look at this. There are different colors, right? Again, this is a periodization. First 3 weeks you see is the base training. You recover 1 week. There's a threshold, there's a recovery, there's a specific, there's a taper, and the race week. Okay, now the base building is to focus on aerobic fitness with zone 1 workouts. Okay, threshold block, we will really add in more zone 2 workouts to boost your aerobic system. Specific block, we start doing 2.4 km race-based training, okay, of longer duration, and then we taper, and then there are 2 recovery blocks lah, all right, to allow you to recover to prevent overtraining. Okay, now so let's go through each block. All right, so first of all is the base block in blue color, right? So in this blue block, we are focusing on the zone 1 and some zone 3. You can see here. So the session 1 is all zone 1, 30 minutes, straightforward, right? Now, so your session, the first session for the first week is a time trial. So that's where you do a time trial, okay, so that you can then have accurate precision training zones for the rest of the weeks. Okay, next you have a 200-meter session. Very straightforward. You run 200 meters at zone 3. That means this will be a 2.4 km race pace. You run 200 meters, you rest for 1 minute, you run 6 times of that, and then you warm down. That's it. Okay? And this allows you to get a feel of your race pace, but at the same time, the focus is on boosting the aerobic system. Okay? And we want to prepare our body for more challenging sessions to come in a safe manner. Okay? You should feel very nice and comfortable. You should enjoy these workouts. Okay, and also the key is to keep your heart rate within the zone for the zone 1. Be disciplined and stick to it. Okay, and also at this point, try to get used to checking your watch lah for the zone 3 sessions. All right, check your 100 meters, check your pace. Really get a feel of how is it like, like a pro runner. All right, getting the every 100-meter running time locked in. Okay, next you have recovery block. Okay, over here, recovery block, we focus on easy runs, all right? 30 minutes on 1, 30 minutes on 1, just to really enjoy running and to really let that training absorb over the last few weeks. Okay? All right, next, we have the threshold block. So this threshold block, you can see that we have added zone 2 workouts. Okay? This is really to prepare yourself for the higher intensity runs to come and to further build your aerobic base. Okay? And this is again balanced with a slight increase of your zone 3 repetitions from 200 to 400. Okay, so basically running 400 meters at your 2.4 km race pace, which is your zone 3, and then you rest for 2 minutes, and then times 3. That's it, right? And again, focus on keeping your heart rate within the zone for zone 1 and zone 2. Okay, and you continue this short bouts at zone 3 to balance out the program. Okay, next again, a recovery week. At this point, you will do zone 1 training, but at the same time, you do another time trial. And by then, you will be halfway through your program. You will expect your time trial to be faster now. And with that, we can then continue to individualize your training program. That means subsequently after this time trial, right, all your zones will change. Your training pace will be increased for your zone 3. Okay? And what you do, you go into specific block. At this block, as you can see, we will tail down your zone 2. We don't want you to overtire yourself, right? Zone 2 is just to maintain and to hold together your aerobic system that you have built up over the last few weeks. And then now we're going to shift to really focus on anaerobic system and to really get used to running at race pace from 600 to 800 meters. Okay, so 600 meters, zone 3, 2 minute, zone 1 recovery times 3, 800, 3 minute times 2. Okay, you can see that, right? And again, it's really focusing now more and more on the anaerobic system and really getting used to race pace. Okay, and during these sessions, you want to focus on being able to hit the pace for the first 400 meters of each rep. Because on race day, most people will mess up the first 100 meters. They will start too fast, right? So really focus on narrowing down and able to hit it out, the first 100 meter, 200 meter, 300 meter, 400 meter, 500 meter, 600 meter, right? And make sure you are on pace every time you pass through that line. Okay, now finally a tapering block. So now all the training has been done. You want to reduce the intensity to prevent any illness. Okay, and you want to achieve all the super compensation that can occur over the last few weeks. Okay, and here there's just one session of just a short repetitions. This should feel so comfortable, all right, and you will feel very, very nice. And again, focus on hitting the timing at the 100 meter and 200 meter mark, okay, of the zone 3 workout. And now race week. Now race week, we give you a tip here. Book your IPPT on Thursday or Friday or Saturday so that you can squeeze in one more session of sharpening. All right. So just a zone 3 workout, 4 reps of 200 meters, and to really get used to that sense of running at that race pace before you do your IPPT on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday to really optimize your race. Okay. And then now you can see the program that you have. Basically, you can see this entire thing. All right, the 5 different phases of training: base, threshold, specific, taper, and race week. Okay, and this will really key in, all right, for your 2.4 km. Now, why will this program be effective? I have no doubts that this will be effective. Okay, now I'm going to tell you why it will be 100% be effective. Okay, number one, it adheres to the aerobic anaerobic ratio. Confirm what? Right, we are being very logical, very systematic. All right, and you look at the entire program, if you follow it, you are actually running 81% of the time in the aerobic zone and 19% of the time in the anaerobic zone. So surely you are training the right way for 2.4 km. Number two, if you obey the days between the workouts, you're going to allow super compensation for sure. And we are giving you a periodization, periodize until you can peak, So surely you are going to prime your body to really run at 2.4 the best you can on that day. And it's specific to the individual. You have a midterm evaluation, 1.2 km benchmark, and subsequently your pace will change, and you're really not wasting time. Every workout is for the bang for the buck, okay? And it progresses your fitness, all right? So that's why this program will be effective.